Of our semifinal match, Saz's Barbecue Sauce of Milwaukee defeating Kelly's Pro Shop 416-344, which brings us to the title game. Saz's Barbecue Sauce, the #2 seed, against our tournament leader, El Nopal. Now here's how the finalists did, Earl, in qualifying and the Baker round.
And what's interesting is El Nopal, they've made a tremendous rush in the last 7 matches of the Baker system, moving from like 10th place to 1st, and you can see why. Look at their average in the Baker. 205 average is a tremendous average in the Baker system, and I believe they won 7 of their 9 matches.
That's right, Earl. They started in 10th place in the match play, and look at them slowly climb right to the top. And match play, 7-2 for the #1 seed, 7-2 also for Kelly's. They've been eliminated. Saz is 6-3. And Saz's will begin this championship match, Earl, on lane 61. They had more trouble on 61 in the semifinals than they did on lane 62.
And that's the reason they chose that to start. They want to make sure they've got what they feel is their best lane for the second game of this 2-game total pin match.
Now, you said before the show, Earl, that you like Saz's. You thought they were the team to beat here, and here they are in the finals.
Well, I'm usually wrong, Bob. And I hate to say that, but there's a Shark. He gets up there right out of the box and kind of whistles it out the window, and you can see he feels like he's completely lost. Look at that ball sail on him. That's what we call sailing, when it just gets in the oil and skids and never really grips until it's too late to get back. And this not an easy spare. The 1-2-4. He wants to cross over to what you might call the Brooklyn side and let the ball take them all. And he didn't do it, but he got lucky. Now, that's not where he was playing it, folks. You can count on it.
So he walks back just as confused as ever, even though he made the spare.
Well, he looked at that and he thought, well, it hit the pocket. Maybe next time that's where I'll throw it.
Here's the leadoff man now for El Nopal, DJ Sorrell. His first TV appearance, and he's got trouble staring at him.
Not an auspicious beginning. Here is the 4-6-7, what they call one of the impossible splits, the impossible spare. And now on this particular team, the El Nopal team, they have 2 to 3 players, 3 I believe, that go fairly straight with the ball. This, their leadoff man, doesn't hook it much, throws it kind of hard and straight. And Henry Gonzalez, maybe the best player on the team, former touring player, who also doesn't hook it very much. And usually, when you have that kind of a game, you keep the ball in play, you get in less trouble. But right out of the gate, being a little nervous, he hit the nose, got the big split. There's his reaction.
Jace Peterson for Saz's second frame. Crossover.
He was talking to that one. He thought he made a good shot. The ball got 3/4 of the way down the lane, made a left turn, didn't even signal, just made a left turn, and he was screaming at it to carry on that Brooklyn hit. Wasn't quite lucky enough.
His qualifying average, 224. Perhaps you've noticed the shot clock, Earl, something new this year, 25-second shot clock.
Yeah, just like pro basketball almost. They only get 24, but we're close.
They get paid more.
That's right. And what that means is the player, from the time the sweep goes down on the opposite lane, the player has 25 seconds to get his ball, get up, and get rid of the shot, which is more than enough time, unless you stumble up there and fall down a couple times.
Yeah, the players really don't seem to mind the shot clock.
No,
nobody's complaining.
Once they get into competition, they're not even aware of it. But just the idea of it being there has speeded up play, and it really showed what it does when it was mentioned by our tournament director, Tom Bodecker, before the match play. The Baker system started this morning. He went out and told all the players that during the telecast we're going to have a shot clock. And we finished an hour and 20 minutes earlier than we did in our previous tournament.
Nobody knew what to do.
They got up and bowled, and that's the way you're supposed to do it. You get up and when it's your turn, you get rid of the ball.
Now Dennis Samsel in the second frame here for El Nopal, looking for a little problem after his first ball.
Now leaving the baby split to 310. Here's another look at that shot. You can see his style going. He kind of stalks it, very little slide, plants the foot, pulls the ball through, and not good balance. You see a little hop at the foul line there, and he kind of comes up on the shot. He's having a little trouble with the approaches, and that's part of the reason that he tends to try to overthrow the ball, and he's planting his foot. No slide at all. Reminds me of a Hall of Famer, Pete Tonis from Tucson, Arizona. Had that kind of a style. Pete was very smooth, never had any slide, though. He always planted his foot and pulled the ball through. Cross lane, try to fit the ball between the pins. Got to hit the front pin. 3-pin on the right side. Let the ball bounce into the 10.
And just like that, the #1 seed begins this championship game with 2 open frames. Sazes, the number 2 seed after a big semifinal win, 72 pins. Sazes now with a big early lead in this championship match because of those 2 open frames by Nopal. This is Niles Konicek. There it is. Konicek has struggled up to this point, but that one he buried.
And what's kind of interesting as we get our first look at Henry Gonzalez, 2-time national tour champion and winner of 20 regional tournaments. What's kind of interesting is that because the lane surface is playable by a variety of different angles, it makes it more exciting and more interesting for all the players. And you'll see them playing all over the lane, anywhere from around the 1st arrow to inside the 4th arrow. And Henry around the 17 board, didn't hold the line, hooked a little bit early, leaving the 310.
Now, Earl, some may be wondering, here you got a guy that's been out on the tour in the past and been successful, yet they put him in the number 3 hole. How come?
Well, I don't know, to be honest with you. It's a good question, Bob. But honestly, what I feel is Henry is kind of like a stabilizer for the team. They want him in the middle of the lineup where they can watch him. He's a guy who kind of settles the team down. And unfortunately, he hit the nose, left a little baby split. But if he can pick this up, it'll really help his team. And he did 3 consecutive opens.
They're 0 for 3. What a tough beginning for the number 1 seed, Nopal. They are 0 for 3 in this first game of the finals. We'll be right back. Back, the Denver Regional of the Brunswick World Team Challenge Series. Joe Natoli, 4th frame for Saz's barbecue sauce. They have the lead after 3. Natoli, the steady one.
A little bit of a break there for Joe. He hit it thin. He got the 7 pin, the last pin to go. The head pin goes to the wall, kind of kicks it out. And we'll show you that again. Now watch the ball. Just enough of the head pin to send it to the sideboards. It comes back and causes all those good things to happen on the left side of the lane. The 4, the 7, and the 8, the last 3 to go. This is a unique style right here, folks. That's what you call it.
There you go.
Now, this young man doesn't use his thumb in the ball. He palms the ball, uses only the 2 middle fingers, no thumb, and he can hook it on a skating rink. Let me tell you, he gets a lot of revolutions on the ball.
And he's bowling very well right now. His teammates say that this week in Denver, he was their clutch bowler.
Well, Raleigh can do it. He's an experienced player, and he's not afraid to get up there in a crucial situation and take the responsibility of making a good shot. And here's another guy of the same caliber. It's the same idea. When you need a player, there's where you go to right there. Your anchor man.
Boy, in the Saz's club, Earl, up off their seats with every good shot. Very enthusiastic club at the moment. Of course, they have the nice lead early in the championship.
And here's his reaction. When he let go, he knew it was good. Just a matter of whether the 10 pin would go, and his team is up to greet him.
Now the captain for Nopal, Steve Anderson.
Well, he's ready. He is pumped up. Look at the look on his face. Now, that got his team off the bench and got him back in the game psychologically. More than anything else, you have to be up mentally. If you get down on yourself, it affects the whole team. They all feel that kind of a reaction mentally, and they just get down and they kind of give up. He got them pumped up again. They're back in the match.
We'll see what kind of effect that strike has. Saz is up by 43 after 5. Sharkey with a big strike for Saz's.
They're just kind of rolling along. They feel they've got a winner here. They know that they're going to bowl the second game on their best lane. So based on that, if they can get out of the gate with a big lead on their tough lane, that isn't going to look too good for Nopal.
DJ Sorrell, again, his first TV appearance. He opened on his first ball. Crossover strike for Sorrell.
This young man is not only, you say, first television appearance, I'd say he's a little bit nervous. Getting up on the approach, he tripped over the...
Almost went down.
Well, I don't know if he almost went down.
What would happen with the shot clock then?
That's right. If he falls down, what happens to the shot clock? Well, he wasn't quite that nervous, but he did have a little trouble getting up there.
Jace Peterson for Saz's. He tries the Brooklyn.
And things are going well for Saz's right now. They made a lot of good shots. They resulted in strikes. And on their bad shots, they're getting some good breaks. That could have been a very difficult spare. The 3 and the 9. The 9 falls down, leaving only the 3 pin. Pretty easy shot here. Easy spare. He'll go a little bit cross lane. Here's a look at it. Barely got enough of the head pin to bring it back into play, and that was the head pin. It came off the wall and knocked out the 9.